Let's get busy.
Live from the Shooting from the Lip studio in Louisville, Kentucky, it's time for Shooting Stars with your hosts Kevin Hale and Greg Unthank.
What is up, everyone? Kevin Hale up in this house on this Wednesday night, December 7th, 2016. The latest Shooting from the Lip. Usual co-host Greg Unthank is enjoying the Led Zeppelin thing, or the Bonham Zeppelin thing at Louisville Palace tonight. So he's spending time with his son, having a good time there. And what did I do? I decided to reach out to one of my favorite people who's co-hosted shows with me. He's been on as a guest, refuses to, go out on dates with me, but, that's a whole nother thing. Shannon Moert, Talk Smack Promotions. What's up, lady?
Well, that was an introduction unlike any I've had before.
Yeah.
Good evening. How are you?
I was going to say, yeah. How you been?
I'm doing great. Thank you. It has been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah. I think, I was going to say, in the last several months, we've probably seen each other just a handful of times I was going to say probably at the county line with some gigs. And usually I'm coming in while you're getting ready to go out. So we hadn't had a lot of time together. But what has been up with you lately?
I am, this past weekend, I was fortunate enough to be able to spend some time at the county line for his Thursday night acoustic gigs. And
Right.
It's been pretty cool. The crowd's been great. Hank Rose was playing up there, which I thoroughly enjoy. I love Hank. And
Hank's
then,
good guy.
of course, Friday. Oh, Hank's awesome. He's awesome. He's one of the most talented musicians I know. But then Friday night, I wasn't expecting to be there, but I ended up having the opportunity to go anyway, and it was great. There was Moondog was there, Dallas Moore was playing. There were CJ Cumberland was there. I mean, there was a lot of musicians in the house, and we had a ball. So anyway, that's kind of a very short version for me. I'm sure I'll think of something else within the next hour to throw in there. But
Yeah, absolutely. New Year's Eve plans for you? What are you or Talk Smack gonna do?
Well, right now I'm committed to, and I shouldn't say committed, I'm looking forward to the county line. Van Whalen will be playing there.
Right.
But I will probably be making a few appearances at several other places as well. But for sure, county line is in stone. And who knows? That's a month away, so there could be a lot of other things that take place from now until then. But right now,
it's 24 days away. 24 days.
Do you know how much stuff we can cram into 24 days? A lot.
That's true. That's true.
So,
two a days. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Tonight, Shannon, first segment, I'm gonna have Tom Monyhan on. He's a very talented singer, musician with Hook, Line, and Sinker, the Degenerates, first segment. And second segment, we'll have Phil and Mike on from Junction Creek, who I did get to go see Saturday night at Spectators. Good times, good. Junction Creek's one of my guilty pleasures when it comes to that country, sound, and very, very talented band. So
yes, they are.
Yeah. And then I did get to a shout out to my man Greg. After I left Spectators, I went out to TK's and hung out with Spare Change Millionaires, who they kill it every gig too. So good Saturday night for me.
You can never go wrong with Spare Change Millionaires, ever.
You can't. Ever.
Never, ever.
Yeah.
No, or Junction Creek, as far as that's concerned.
Or Junction Creek. Yeah. All right. Well, let me. I'll give my show plugs later. Let me go on and jump into our first segment. bringing him on, turning on his mic, Tom Monyhan, singer, guitarist, a guy arguably with one of the best smiles. And I say that with, in the most manly kind of way, but one of the cool guys. I mean, I've known Tom for a while. He is really cool cat, genuine good person. Tom, welcome to the show, brother.
Well, thank you, man. That's a great introduction there. Couldn't ask for any better.
Yeah. Now, Tom,
Hello,
do you know?
How are you?
Do you know Shannon? You know Shannon, Tom? Shannon's with Talk Smack Promotions. Now, Shannon's got history. I know you two have crossed paths. Shannon, where would you have crossed paths with Tom?
The last time I saw Tom was because we're close to the same young, youthful age. And the last time I saw Tom was at That's a Ticket in Corden, Indiana. I went up there with a friend of mine. And it was actually the first time I'd actually seen you in a very long time. And I think Phil Abel was playing with you there, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe it was. It was either him or I think it may have been Kevin Clark that night.
Okay, maybe it was. But anyway, a phenomenal voice. I genuinely enjoy listening to you. I really do. And hopefully I'll get to hear you more often. But I was excited when Kevin said, hey, you want to be my co-host on the show tonight? This is who I've got. And I was like, yay. I was looking forward to it. So anyway, I look forward to hearing you again very, very soon.
Great.
Tom, give us quickly the Tom Monyhan story. I know when I first crossed paths with you, you were singing at it was where I was working at back in the day. You came and sang at a company event. And you were outstanding. And it was funny. There was one song, and I'm going to share this with you. There's one song that one of the first songs you played, you sang, and you just killed it. And it was, I couldn't think of the song until I heard Don't Dream It's Over by Crowded House. And then it hit me. The song was something so
strong.
Yeah. And I was like, that dude's legit. And so that's how far I know you, and but yeah, give us quickly the quick Tom bio.
Well, I mean, my whole family is all talented musicians. My grandfather and my uncles all played, and all my older brothers. I'm the youngest of 6 kids, and all of them all played and sang. Those were my earliest memories. My dad played music. My mom had a beautiful voice. And basically was raised in a house full of music. And I actually, as a teenager, I kind of gave up that dream of wanting to play music or having any interest. I was just interested in partying and being reckless, really. And I actually, my car broke down one night, and I was walking around my neighborhood, and I ran into Danny Flanagan, who, if anybody around here knows, Danny Flanagan is a very talented musician, and he was, I think, 15 years old at the time. I was 18, and he was setting up, talking to some friends of mine and playing guitar, and every song he played, I knew it, and I started singing along, and after about 6 or 7 songs, he asked me to sing in his band, so that was my earliest of actually getting into music.
Your
he asked
audition.
me to, yes, it was very well. It wasn't planned at all. It just ran into him, and I just sang because I knew the songs and liked them. And when he asked me to join his band, I'm like, well, I don't know. I've never sang in a band before, and so he talked me into coming out and getting together with the band at the time, and I started singing right when I was about 18 years old.
Oh, that's cool.
And then you realize, singing in a band, 18 years old, the chicks, right? Chicks.
Yeah, I realized that. But also, at the time, I think I was into drinking more than I was chasing chicks.
Nah.
Oh, shoot.
Everybody knows that playing music and drinking sometimes go together also.
Oh, yeah. Hook, line, and sinker. What's the story with you guys there?
Well, Hook, Line, and Sinker was formed my good friend Terry Tyler from Lone and Tyler, him and I had became friends, and he had just left Lone and Tyler and started doing a solo act. And I would come in, and halftime I'd just sit out in the audience and sing along with him, and I'd sing harmonies along with him. So we kind of became close friends after that. And he actually got me my first solo gig playing acoustic guitar. He had been playing at TK's Pub and double booked himself, and told Todd King that I would fill in for him without even talking to me first. And at that time, I would play 3 or 4 songs on a guitar and sing. So when he told me that, he's like, well, you better learn about 30 more songs. And I spent a week busting my butt learning 30 songs on a guitar. And that's really when I started seriously playing guitar.
Okay.
Wow.
How far back does that go? Yeah, how far back?
That was in the probably right about 90 or something like that. That was after I had left the Boys.
Mm.
So I started playing, and the Payne Brothers was my first really serious gigging band, and we gradually formed into the Boys after several of the members from the Payne Brothers had left, and then we started the group The Boys and was playing Phoenix Hill and Toy Tiger and all those places. And then after that's when I started doing the hook, line, and sinker thing.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You play with a lot of other people as well. I mean,
Right.
Didn't you just recently not play with Redneck Noise also? Or film with them
Yeah,
not long ago?
I just done a couple gigs with them. There was a lot of drama going on there, so that didn't last long at all.
Okay. Well, I know.
Yeah, that was one of them musician drama things that wasn't something I wanted to get into.
Oh, well, I was actually referred to seeing you play, and I've seen you with Katie Mack. I've seen you play with a lot of different people, Alan Norton, and I mean, anyway, you're all over the place, which I think is cool because that says that musicians think a lot of you, and kudos to you for that one. So. Well,
thank you. Yeah, I'm just one of those. I enjoy playing music. I enjoy playing different types of music. To me, whenever I can play with anybody. I like doing filler gigs because to me, it's always great to play with different musicians. Anytime I can play with somebody different, and to me, anytime I do that, it's a learning experience.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Are you still learning, Tom? Are you still finding new things about yourself?
Yeah, I've got a lot to learn. When I play with most of those musicians, I find out how much I need to learn.
Yeah, there's there's a lot of, and Shannon, you kind of touched on the point that the fact that he's played with a lot of music acts, bands, but anytime Tom is at an event that I've been to watching another band, it's just a matter of time, Tom, before you get up there and you do two or three songs with the band. That's part of the routine, isn't it? Or do you expect that anymore?
To me, I most of those guys are usually friends of mine, and I just, I feel fortunate to be able to go in and be invited up like that from anybody. A lot of people don't like to invite people up on stage. I've always tried to do it in any of my gigs, and I've been known to let some people up that have no business being up there. But to me, it's all about having fun and enjoying yourself,
Yeah. Shannon, you talked. I mean, you've had a lot of band experience, and you mentioned several bands. But when someone like that, Tom, has put in his time and and his blood, sweat, and tears to the local music scene. From your perspective, and Tom and who he's interacted with, as someone from a promotion standpoint, those are the people you want to gravitate to because that they're in it. For the pleasure, for the camaraderie. There's no ego. I mean, it's
a perfect package because they're seasoned and they're but he's got a great presence too. And like you said, the smile, you do. You have a great smile and a great voice to go with it. Plus the instruments are great. But I mean, some people just have that charisma and that, but yet humble. It's just you're like the perfect package, in my opinion. And I heard you play so many different types of music. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe I heard you do some Phil Collins. Am I right?
I've done Phil Collins. Used to do a bunch back with the Payne Brothers in the early '80s.
Okay, and what about some Eric Clapton?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so see, these are I hear bands all go around listening to them constantly, but there are certain things that I don't forget, and you just have such a great voice, and I would genuinely enjoy listening to you play. So anyway, to answer your question, Kevin, someone like him, I put him right there with, and you know how close Tony McElwain is to me. He's like family, along with many others. But to me, he's and Paul Hare with Spare Change, and then the guys from Junction Creek, and these Hank Rose, they're just great, as well as Shane Dawson and Wildwood, all those guys. I think the world of all of them. But you take somebody like Tom and Tony and Paul and Greg, and they've been around for a while. They've been around the block. And when you mention Toy Tiger, we've been around for a while. So anyway,
it's not a show unless there's a hashtag Toy Tiger to get that trending again. So
hey, I tell you what, in all honesty, well, I tell you, I know it was probably a crazy idea, but I was dead set about 3 years ago to open up a Toy Tiger 2 because I was there in those days. And I didn't do any of the bikini contests or any of those things by no means, but I was there for the music with Midnight Special and, of course, Caribou. And, I could sit here and name many forever, but I thought, this would be a great idea to have a Toy Tiger 2 and bring the musicians back. And anyway, trying to live another dream again, or trying to relive my early teen years or whatever. It was good times, good music. So anyway, now I'm living vicariously through them again.
And to me, to a degree too, because when I took on when I decided to do a show that was dedicating itself to the local music scene, not so much living vicariously, but I've got to meet and talk to a lot of cool people, and Tom is one of them. Every time when you go out and you hang out with someone like Tom, just at a gig with him and his significant other, give a little shout out to Paula there. We have a good time, and it's I know it's so much fun. And when he goes there, he's going there to support his brothers or sisters in the music scene.
Exactly.
And it's all good. But what I do want to ask, Tom, is you guys, you, Tony McElwain, Greg, I think many years here locally. What is your take? What is your take on the music scene now in Louisville?
Of course, back in the '80s, it's hard to compare to the way the bands were back then. It was all big production, big lighting, big hair, you name it, and it was it's a different scene now. There's it seems like there's a lot more smaller bars, but there's hardly any big bars that have a nice big stage and all that, and the money's not quite there. But I tell everybody, if I was doing it for the money, I would have quit many years ago.
Yeah, I did. It's so weird, isn't it? Because we've had many conversations, Kevin and I have with several others about this. And, back in the day, like you mentioned, with Toy Tiger and several other places, the big stage, and you didn't have social media, and, you didn't have, if you were lucky, you had a pager then and a payphone with a quarter in your pocket.
Exactly.
And had your photos done soon enough to pin on the boards for people to see who was playing in 2 to 3 weeks. That was when somebody was playing. Yeah. And but
but also back then they a lot of the bars would do actual commercials and radio spots, and you'd be in the newspaper and stuff like that, which is things that none of the bars do anymore.
No, they look at
very
the
few of
them. The ones. Yes, you're absolutely right. They look at the bands as being the ones to bring in the crowd, to where before they used to help promote it and bring people in. So that's kind of where I've stepped in a little bit, and which is nowhere near what it should be. But it was so different then, and like you said, the crowds were huge, and the big hair and the parachute pants, and the cover charge wasn't an issue. I mean, you paid it because it was a privilege to get there to go in and see the band. And anyway, just good times. I miss those days, but it's a wide array now too. Look at country. Look where country music is now compared to where if you go back into the early 80s, 90s. So everything's kind of done a flip-flop a little bit. So anyway.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, Shannon, because there's you and I, I think, what was it? I guess you and I first met at the county line, which is country, honky-tonk, that whole country vibe, and there's so much local country music talent here. And my understanding is that, several years ago that wasn't the case, and that that genre, if you will, has really caught on. And then Tom, you were at Redneck Noise, isn't that kind of a country band?
They were pretty much all country. A little bit of classic thrown in there.
Are you comfortable?
Back in those days,
well, go ahead, Shannon.
No, I was going to say back in those days, but back in the 80s and 90s, rock and roll was the music then, and it was the young crowd, to where country music at that time, for the most part, was much as your older people, because I hated country as a young kid or teenager, early 20s. I shouldn't say I hated it, but that's what my parents listened to, I'm
exactly.
AC/DC and
now it's classic rock, huh?
But Eric Clapton and like I said, there's a whole huge array. Always Fleetwood Mac, just an assortment of different types of music. To where now the majority of your places, honestly, the phone calls I get for bookings now are usually for country music. So anyway, it's changed. It's changed a whole lot, but it's still. I think one of these days soon, there will be a rock and roll that will be taking the stage again, more so. I think it will slowly be working its way back in. But right now we're fortunate enough to have enough talent where our musicians who did the Eric Claptons and the AC/DC and everything else, they're still doing the country. There's a nice mixture in there. So you never know what's ahead of us. But I know that I enjoy listening to it. And so does many other people. So I hope it never goes away.
Tom, from your perspective, or actually not your perspective, it's, I guess, to be the real truth here. When it comes to legit bands, music acts, is there enough places in the Louisville area? I guess I'm counting, Southern Indiana or anywhere outside of Louisville. Is there enough places that have these venues for you guys to, gravitate to or, play at routinely?
Well, it's one of those things. I've been playing in this area for so long, and a lot of times I'll play 3 to 4 nights a week, especially during the summer months. During the summer, there's so many events and stuff like that. But during the winter, things kind of slow down a little bit more, because the people that are doing events during the winter, they're all trying to get those other gigs, during the winter when the special event stuff isn't going on and stuff like that. So I sometimes see a little bit more problems during the winter of getting a lot of those gigs, because there's more bands competing for them. But
that's a good point.
Sometimes you got to go outside your, I kind of like playing on the outskirts of Louisville, and I haven't been doing that a lot lately. And, sometimes when you play around the area so much, people get sick of hearing you. And, even when they like you, when you play around so much. So sometimes I got to go away just so they'll miss me a little bit,
You know what? There's a lot of truth, though, to what he's saying there, because And I admire you for saying that, because I had this conversation with another musician actually Saturday. You know what? That's kind of like with Spare Change and with Kirby. You'll see them play like one part of town once a month, and they kind of rotate around, and you don't normally see them playing back to back. Now, sometimes you might, but the musician I was talking to on Saturday said, yeah, we're going to start cutting back on our bookings. Instead of playing, you know, every Friday and Saturday night in all these areas that are so close by, we're afraid we're going to burn our, you know, our followers out. So now they're stepping back a little bit, and they're booking themselves twice a month and taking the other time to go out and listen to the other music. So that way, when they are booked, they have their following, they hope, that will come and see them. So it's a catch-22. You know, this time last year, Kevin, I remember at the county line, Friday and Saturday nights was slammed. I mean, you couldn't find a place in there to sit. And and I'm looking forward to it being the same way again now, you know. So anyway, here's to another year ahead of us to see what we can do with music.
Tom, real quick, tell me about the Degenerates.
Well, the Degenerates, we play a little bit during the summer at the bike nights and stuff like that. We're a little bit heavier band. It consists of Tim Gladden, Mike Bailey, and Al Norton, and myself. And we do a wide variety of classic rock. It's a band that actually got formed by hosting a jam night at Rubby's. And we just gradually, from doing a jam night, we every time we played, we'd play different material, and finally we've just decided to start playing out because we had more than enough material to do a night. And still to this day, almost every time we play, we'll play 3 or 4 or 5 songs sometimes that we've never played before. Just a talented bunch of musicians that gets bored real easy with playing stuff on a song list, so we start pulling stuff out that pops in our head during the gigs or something that somebody yells out. It's a really fun band, but we do live up to our names. They are a bunch of degenerates, for sure.
For sure.
But you all have so much fun being a degenerate, though.
If you have not seen the Degenerates, you haven't experienced anything quite like it, because they do live up to the name. If you're a degenerate, you want to come out and check the band out for sure.
Yes, I think you are great. I watched you all from a distance. So, Kevin, you have to go hear them because they are very talented. You've got some good ones in there.
Yeah, it looks like I'm on the Degenerates Facebook page, Tom. That's the ticket you're basically your go-to place?
On December 20th, yeah, that's a very good place. We're there hook, line, and sinker on the 6th, and then we're on the 20th. The Degenerates will be there, and that's one of the bars. If you haven't been there, they have great food. They have a nice big stage. They provide a PA system. They have lights, and it's one of the biggest and nicest bars around town. And actually, we're going to be open for Phil, Abel, and myself are going to be opening for the Crashers on the 16th.
Oh, that's cool.
See, yeah, very cool, very cool.
That's the 16th of December.
Right. All right, real quick, Tom, before we, as we round down this segment, I do what I call my round of shots. I'm going to throw 6 questions at you. It's like quick Q&A. Just have some fun with it. First question, first shot. Name your first concert. What was the first concert you attended?
Humble Pie.
Humble Pie.
Humble Pie. Peter Frampton. And the funny thing about that is my English teacher in the 5th grade was the drummer at that time, Mr. DeChico, and I just happened to mention to that when he told me he was a drummer, and I told him about my history and stuff, and I told him, well, my first band that I went to see was Humble Pie. He said I was playing with them at the time, and he actually brought in some stuff from that tour and showed me some pictures and everything of him playing with Humble Pie. I was like, well, I was there. I seen it live, so it was that was real neat.
Cool.
That's cool. Awesome. That is. That's great.
Shot number 2. Name the celebrity you would like to be stuck in an elevator with, besides me.
Oh, God.
Careful now.
Paula's sitting here. I might get in trouble on this one. I don't know, man. That's a hard one.
Come on.
Because it is. Because to me, it would have to be a musician. I'd probably wear their ear out talking to them. I tell you, one of my favorite singers in the world is Steve Perry. Most people that know me know I love doing Journey, and Steve Perry is one of my favorite singers. And I think it'd be great to be stuck in the elevator with him, because I'd question him about what happened, because, you know, I really loved him and Neil Sean together, and so I'd probably be a big question and answer session on what happened there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Steve,
I know you expected something a little better and hotter than that, didn't you?
You know, maybe Jenna Jameson or something like that, but I get it. You gotta, you know, you're gonna shut the night down with Paula. I get that. All right, but you know, that's just hypothetical. You know, God forbid you get stuck in an elevator tomorrow with some celebrity, some hot. All right, number three, Tom. During a gig, what would be a pet peeve? You know, besides someone yelling for you to play Skinnerd.
Freebird.
A pet peeve on a gig. Probably my worst thing would be somebody getting totally trashed on stage and not being able to make it through the gig.
So that would be from, you know, obviously from within the band.
Yeah.
The bandmates.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be my biggest pet.
Yeah,
when was the last time that happened without calling anybody out?
Actually, it's I don't think it's really ever happened. We had a few close calls a few times back at Jim Porter's. I ain't going any further than that.
Okay. Jim Porter's, I like it.
You know what? Jim Porter's was a great place, though. I hate seeing that place taken down, because you had 3 rooms filled with live music, and I had a lot of fun in that place, and I hate seeing it gone.
Yeah, same here. We played there a lot, and Phoenix Hill. I played both of those bars so much, it really did hurt. I keep on telling everybody that sometimes I think somebody's trying to wipe out my existence of all the bars I've played at, because they keep on tearing them down and burning them down and turning them into Thorntons and everything else.
Yeah,
it's like a conspiracy theory going on here.
It is. I'm really starting to believe it is.
Yeah. Big Brother's following you, Tom. All right, let's see. Number 4. Tell us about a scar you have and how did you get it?
Oh, I've got so many of them. It's probably my weirdest scar.
Yeah, or the best story scar.
Well, I mean, probably the worst scar I got is from my motorcycle wreck I had about 10 years ago. I had a 16-year-old girl talking on cell phone and turned in front of me, and I hit her head on about 50 miles an hour. Didn't have a helmet on, and I tell everybody, thank God I landed on my head, because that's the only thing that saved me.
Oh, wow.
But I've got 2 plates and about 19 screws in my ankle, and that's probably the nastiest scar I got.
Without reliving that traumatic event, how lucky are you to be able to be talking to me right now, or talking to
I'm very, very fortunate. I mean, I literally landed on my head. I had a knot on my head about 3 inches high and completely around the crown of my head. And the doctors, EMS, everybody couldn't even believe I was alive, let alone sitting there talking, making jokes.
Good Lord.
I was making jokes. I was in shock, and then once they put me on the morphine, I was really high, but I was making jokes the whole time about landing on my head, and my mom always telling me I was hard-headed and everything.
There you go. From that point on, you could never question that comment from your mom.
Oh, I've always told everybody I was hard-headed. I just didn't know how really hard-headed I was till I landed on my head.
Oh, yeah, proof. There's your proof. Good Lord. All right, number 5. And I know Paula's there with you, so you can be honest. What was the last picture? What was the last picture you took with your phone?
The last picture I took with my phone? With my phone?
Yeah, this is Florida.
We took a bunch of pictures in Florida. We just got back from Florida. I'm not sure.
The last picture.
I don't. And he said with my phone. That's not with my phone, though.
All right, don't get that.
I can't remember.
I don't. You took with.
She's the photographer. Paula's the one that takes all the pictures.
I take all the pictures.
I rarely take any pictures. I'm not sure what the last picture was. I actually
mean to tell me. Be honest, Tom. Right before you walk out of the house to go to a gig, either play a gig or go watch a gig, do you not take one selfie, mirrored selfie, to get that?
No,
the final hair product, your hair production, and the smile all together. You don't get that one.
I can't the smile. That's my smile, Kevin.
Paula does that. She takes all the pictures.
I'm in marketing.
I don't particularly like to see pictures of myself, so I don't go out of the way to take pictures.
Okay, if you say so. All right.
Paula takes short enough for the both of us.
Yes, but that's her role. That's her role now. And I'm gonna ask
and she
Paula
does it.
She does it well, and I'm gonna ask Paula a couple questions. We'll get her some time. But last shot question for you, Tom. If you had access to a time machine and could go anywhere in the past, your living past, or all the way back to the Fred Flintstone past, where would you go?
Oh man, well, I had a blast in the '80s. I have to say that. So it would have to be back in the '80s.
Nice.
Back to the big bands, the big hair, the big stages, all that stuff.
Cool.
Me too.
Paula's there with you. Paula,
yeah.
Tom's significant other. You've kind of stepped in and you're kind of handling the whole Tom Monyhan experience these days. Is that correct? Can you say? Is that okay to say?
Nice way to put it. Yeah, I'm handling the Tom Monyhan experience.
Yeah. So
I'm doing a little marketing for him. That's all.
Okay. And I see you as someone who would engage yourself in social media a lot more than Tom. Is that probably safe to say too?
Absolutely, since that's kind of like my degree, marketing. So yeah, I find myself wandering around talking to everybody.
But at the same time too, with someone like Tom, his experience, his connections, with bands or whatever. I don't want to say it's, it's easy for you, but to have
it's absolutely easy. It is because he's my favorite muse.
Okay.
It's easy to market him, especially when you love your product.
Exactly. Okay, that's where I didn't want to sell you short.
Right there.
Yeah, I didn't want to sell you short because, you've got a, it's not like you got some diamond in the rough. You got the diamond, and so what do you have lined up for Tom in the heading into 2017?
2017, I'm reaching out to some different venues around the area and trying to book some gigs for them. We have a few shows coming up. I think you mentioned at the ticket, opening up for the Crashers on December 16th out there at That's the Ticket, and then he's going to be at halftime with Hook, Line, and Sinker, and then on the January 6th, you're going to be at That's the Ticket again with Hook, Line, and Sinker, and then the 20th will be the Degenerates. And so far, that's all we really had time to do because we just got back from our vacation. And now we have Christmas. So.
Yeah. And you just, came back from Florida. See, Paula, I've got an idea for you. This is just a suggestion. But,
all right.
When you know where Kirby's playing, when Spare Change Millionaires are playing.
Right.
I would, maybe if I was in Paula's shoes, I might start calling ahead to the Greg Unthanks, the Tony Michael Waynes, and say, guys, Tom's going to be here. That gig that you're playing at New Direction on this date. Well, Tom's going to be there at 11:30. So fit him in from 11:35 to 11:45 with 3 songs. I would go on and do that. I would do that. Go on and do that.
Well, we pretty much walk in the door, and next thing I know, Paul or someone's asking him to come up to sing anyways, which is perfect.
My point is you go one step ahead, and then you're like on social media. Look for maybe Tom.
I can talk to all of them.
Exactly.
I'll find out where they're all playing. I'll look them up and say, hey, can I put a plug in here on your guys' Facebook page saying, guess what, let's bring Tom in for a few songs. Yeah, I can do that. I'm sure they'll love it. I'll let them know it was your idea.
Well, I don't think, you know what, but those
you ought to know I wouldn't allow her to do stuff like that.
Well, actually, Tom, I don't know if you have any say-so anymore, right?
I probably don't have much, but there's one thing I appreciate anytime anybody gets me up. But,
I know,
but I never expected or anything. It's like if they want me to get up, of course I love playing with all those guys, and there's no bigger thrill than getting up and playing with some of these great musicians like that. But you know, I wouldn't. Never assume anything or ever, try to push myself on anybody like that.
Shannon, the whole political correctness thing does not belong on this show.
Yeah.
Well, when it comes to that, I just, to me, I can't, you know me, I'm not like that, man. I couldn't do that.
But if Tom's playing with a gig, he pulls them up and has them come on for him.
Yeah, anybody comes up. I mean, there's been nights that half the night is a bunch of people playing with us. I mean, Paul's came in and jammed with us many times. Josh Bogart. Anybody all my friends, anybody that comes out, they're always welcome. We encourage them. We tell them bring their instruments. We don't care. We'll make room on the stage whether there's room or not. It's all about enjoyment and having a good time, you know.
Exactly. And a few drinks and some laughs.
Oh, just one or two.
One or two dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Shannon, I'll drink a Sprite or two.
Yeah, whatever. Shannon, I got an idea that I might want you to help me with this tour event that I want to get started in 2017. I'm not a musician.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a musician. You know, I could probably carry a tune just a little bit, background folk, but I think one thing that I can nail, and I want to do this is, in a fun / serious way, because I love the local music scene. I love all these people that come on the show. The truth is, Tom's, Junction Creek, Phil and Mike are on hold right now. They're coming. These are all now my brothers, and we just have a good time at these events. I want to start the Kevin Cowbell tour in 2017. I'm bringing a cowbell. I'm bringing a cowbell, and I want to at least one song, if anything, either cowbell, something. I want to be physically a part of.
We can do "Don't Fear the Reaper." That's definitely a cowbell song there.
Yeah.
Honky Tonk Woman. We can think of a few others, I think.
Yeah. So Shannon,
you got a gig, man.
That's a shooting from the lip / talk smack promotion joint venture.
I'm sorry, I am not playing cowbell. I love you, but it's that
I'll play cowbell. You can get up and do vocal harmonies. You can do the tambourine. We'll figure this out. We'll talk offline. But that's kind of what I want to do.
You better we'll talk offline.
All right, Tom or Paula, share with us what's the best ways to get in touch with you guys, follow you guys on social media.
On Facebook, just like and join Hook, Line, Sinker or the Degenerates. And if someone wants to book Tom, they can reach out to me on my Facebook page.
Paula Hale. Paula Hale.
Tom, just so anytime you want to tag me into any of your events, please feel free to do so, and I'll be more than I would love to share it to bring more people out to see your shows.
Fantastic. Thank you.
That'd be great.
You're welcome.
And thank you,
All
Kevin.
right, Tom. Yeah, Tom, Paula, thanks for hanging out with us. Good stuff. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, man.
We'll see you
you know
soon.
Bye,
Have a
guys.
great
Take
evening.
care.
All right, bye.
Take care. Good night. All right, Shannon. Again, one of those segments, Shannon, where you kind of go down memory lane a little bit. You know, bands that he mentioned. You know, you were there, been there, and done that.
That's the
I
crazy
tell you
thing.
what.
Tom and I, we've passed each other's, we've crossed each other's paths so much, but to actually be formally introduced, we really were just formally introduced just a few months ago.
Okay.
But knowing him, I've known him forever. So
Right.
Since he's been playing, so yeah, he's extremely talented. Anyway,
Very talented. Anyway, what I'm going to ask you to do you know the gigs coming up at County Line this weekend? You know all the gigs?
I should know it by heart. I know for sure who is there.
Well, I was trying to get
Saturday
you
night.
to say the gigs while I screen. So
Okay.
repeat
I
after
can do
repeat
that.
after
Just
me.
give me a
Yeah.
yes. Here.
Repeat after me. John Hager Thursday night, 3 and 20 Friday. Shane Dawson Saturday. Elaborate on those three while I screen our guests.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks. Well, the Hager Band is awesome. I love those guys. Actually, I only got to see them one time, and I tried to go out and see them several other times, but the scheduling was already promised to be other places, but they are great. Totally enjoyed them. And, of course, we know all about Shane Dawson. I love Shane. I think he's amazing. I think his band is great, and I'm sure it will be a packed house this weekend. And, I'm going to kind of elaborate on something that took place with Shane and I a couple of weeks ago. Well, actually about a month ago. And some people know about it, some people don't. Kevin, I'm not sure if you caught wind of this or not, but I had a lady reach out to me, or actually a daughter of a woman who reached out to me on Facebook saying that she said, Shannon, you probably don't know who I am. She said, but my mother and I follow your Facebook, your live streams, and we just want to tell you how much we appreciate this, blah, blah, blah. And she wanted to tell me about her mother being in the hospital and not able to get out, but that the live streams she looks forward to because she gets to hear all of her favorite musicians. Well, her mother has a disease that's non-curable. So moral to the story is it really touched me, and I contacted her and I said, can you tell me who her favorite band is or musician? Well, she had named us several, but Shane was one of her favorites. So
cool.
I made a phone call. I called Shane and I said, hey, here's the deal. I got this letter from this girl whose mom's very ill. She can't see. She's lost her vision. Hasn't been home for the holidays for quite some time. Watches my live or listens to my live streams. I said, and you're one of her favorites. Would you mind meeting me there? Well, Shane met me there after work. He was, sweaty, had been working, changed, his T-shirts, grabbed his guitar. He meets me in the lobby of the hotel. We go up to the room. Now, in the meantime, Shane has no clue that I'm getting ready to do a live stream. And the reason why I was doing the live stream was so her family that lived in Litchfield could see her. Because, again, like I said, she's been living in a hospital off and on for some time now. Well, the daughter knew and the father knew, but the mother had no clue. So we go in. They see who we are. The father reaches over and taps on Patty Decker is her name, taps on her and says, Patty, he said, you've got somebody here to see you. Well, again, remember, her vision's not very good. And I said, Patty, I said, hi. I said, it's Shannon. And she said, Shannon. And she said, Shannon from Talk Smack. And I said, yes. And her voice stuttered and she was thrilled. And again, like I said, her vision was horrible. And I said, well, I brought somebody here to see you. And she said, who is it? And he said, Miss Patty. He said, my name is Shane. And she burst into tears and said, my name, awesome. She just, so anyway, I could go on. I've got goosebumps telling the story again. You need to go on my page and check it out. Actually, I'll retag it. But anyway, more to the story is this woman smiled for the first time in over a year, according to her husband, and her treatments had been cut off. They were not going to give her treatments, and they were very upset over this and wanting to go home for the holidays. Well, anyway, how this ended, within a 12-hour time frame, over 5,000 people saw the live stream I had posted of Shane singing to her, and the response that we got, and it was put in front of a person that mattered at the hospital who pulled her charts, her records, and walked up, met her that next morning, and made it a point that she was to receive 5 more treatments. So, needless to say, that live stream, what you musicians do, does more than what you have any idea, because Shane did that out of the goodness of his heart, not having a clue I was going to live stream. It went in front of over 5,000 people. I don't even know where it could be at now, but this woman got to go home for Thanksgiving. She's going to be home for Christmas. She got the treatments that she needed. Their air conditioners, their heater, their medical equipment was old or broken. I put the word out about all of this, so everybody's come together and trying to help this family just from what a musician did and a live stream did. So anyway, I'm sorry I took up so much airtime there, but it just goes back again to say, if you get it out in front of people, people will listen and pay attention, and it takes musicians who do this to make a difference. And again, I'm forever grateful. So anyway, I thought that was kind of cool and needed to be shared.
That's damn good stuff. And to me, doing the shows or whatever, my objective in doing these shows, or being able to, as I don't know, in some crazy way, even if there's just a tad bit of celebrity that I have, that I have connections to people who can make something better for somebody, spread good karma and try to pay it forward as often as you can. And I at my age, our age, Shannon, we've been there and done that, but and now more than ever, we do want to. We feel like, I don't know. I struggle if there's truly a heaven or not, but I'd like to think, if from this point on, that I'm, my intentions are, good for people, and we are in positions to, help, make someone's day a little better, whether it's.
I totally agree.
Yeah. And,
and it's a happy ending that comes out of it, one way or the other.
And it's okay. I mean, to me, if we can make a Hallmark Disney moment for at the end of the day, from all of us, any of us, go for it. And now more than ever, we got to look out and take care of each other. I mean, it's just how shit is going on these days. And,
You're right. So where's our boy?
I'm turning their mics on. Phil and Mike, I've turned their mics on. Phil, Mike from Junction Creek. How do you coming in after that feel good story? I mean, what's up with you guys? I'll start with Phil. Phil, what's up?
Hey, Gil. Hey, Shannon. How y'all doing tonight?
Hi, I miss you guys.
It's been a long time, Shannon. You need to come out and see us.
I know. Every time I try to come and see you all, I've already been scheduled somewhere else. I'm like, you know what? That's it. This time. I don't care what. I'm going to be there.
I made it out.
Yeah, Kev come out spectators with us last weekend. It's good seeing you, man.
No, I heard you did. So that's going to change my promise, because I do. I miss you all.
Yeah. And Mike, what's up, brother?
Hey, I'm here. Actually, Kevin, had we known that you were a cowbell extraordinaire, we might have done things a little different Saturday.
You know what? But the thing is, I was saving it to promote for 2017. So just hook me up, brother. Keep me in mind for 2017.
The next song I'm learning is "Fear the Reaper."
I'd love that. Would be awesome.
Oh wow!
I would.
That's
yes.
Awesome.
No. Go ahead, brother.
I was just gonna say, I think we were all talking over each other a little bit. That's the next song I'm learning. "Don't Fear the Reaper." I want to see Kev on the cowbell, and Shannon, you got to sing it.
Oh,
Shannon,
cue it up.
Yeah,
I love you.
Come on.
All. I love you.
No buts.
Pick up the tambourine. I'll lip sync, but I am nothing.
Lip.
No.
Check this out, Shannon. I met spectators. Junction Creek, as always, killing it. Actually there was a couple of it was crazy. There was a couple of songs, guys, where was it Jamie who forgot the lyrics or the words or something? And that was entertaining in itself. But one of the most entertaining parts of Saturday night, Shannon, was in between sets. And as soon as the set would end,
really?
Yeah, check this out, Shannon. As soon as the set would end, you know, the music that was playing in between sets, if you looked at the owner of Spectators, his face, he wasn't exactly receptive to the music, Phil. Did you get that vibe from him?
Yeah. Not only did I get the vibe, but he actually told me about it also. So. And don't worry, I now have a Spectators playlist just for Spectators. You know, you can only play so many wobbles, electric slides, cha-cha slides.
Exactly.
Then you got to throw some other stuff in it also.
Yeah.
So
right.
That was entertainment right there. Just as soon as the set ended.
I can only imagine what song it was.
I think I'm gonna do it just to mess with Steve next time we're there.
He got to. Yeah, that was entertaining. Now it was good to see. I hadn't seen Junction Creek in a few months. I was trying to figure out my Saturday night, and I'm looking. I was on Facebook, and one of the first things that popped out was that they were at Spectators. I'm like, well, that's an overhang. I'm going to go see the guys. And of course, I go and kill it as usual. But I'll start with you, Mike. There's a new member. Tell us about the new member, and how did that all come about?
Well, yeah. So there is. I guess we formally announced that few days ago, but she's played a couple shows with us. Her name is TJ, and this is bad. I don't even know her last name. I just call her TJ. But she's
that sounds like when I go out and meet chicks. But anyways, I digress. Go ahead.
Kevin, I could probably hit a little more on TJ. We grew up together. That's how we kind of come to get to know her.
Oh, wait a minute. You grew up together and you don't know her last... Wait a minute. Oh, you do know her.
No, that's Phil.
But, yeah, Phil. Yeah. Phil knows her last name, but Mike doesn't.
We went to school. Yeah, we went to school together in elementary school and grew up together. And I had received a text message from my cousin, which she's really good for close friends with my cousin, saying that she would be interested in playing if we were looking for anybody. So when Greg told us that he wanted to go part-time, and then I just threw it out there. I was like, hey, guys, I know this girl that's wanting to get back into playing. And Jamie and Mike said, yeah, just give her a shot. So we brought her out and been downhill ever since.
Well, I can't wait to hear her. I went on some of your all's live streams, and she sounded amazing.
Her name's
really
Tara
good.
Jo Weatherton.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Is she on Facebook?
Fabulous. I don't believe she is. But she's a fabulous singer and a great guitar player, so I think she's going to be an asset to the band.
Well, I think it's great. I do. I think it's an awesome thing. When do y'all play again?
We play this Friday in Seymour, and then we're playing next Thursday at Fern Creek Sports Bar over with Cliff, and then then we're off till New Year's.
Okay, so you're playing on a Thursday night, the whole band? Full band?
It's going to be me and Mike and Jamie and TJ are going to be at Fern Creek on next Thursday night.
Okay.
Well, when you say New Year's, you mean are you playing a New Year's Eve gig or?
Yeah, we're actually going to Litchfield for New Year's Eve for the New Year's Eve show at the American Legion down there. It should be a pretty good time. It's always a good time when we play down at the American Legion in Litchfield.
It's fun. I love that place. They're such good people.
I've not been there. I've heard good things about that. I've not been there. So.
I've been down there with Junction Creek and with Smoke, and I tell you, the people there, they're just fun. They're just fun.
They're definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah. Now I've got to give a quick shout out here to my brother Mike. Mike is someone who, and Mike, I say this from the bottom of my heart. I 100% appreciate the support you give my shows. Not just Wednesday night shows. You follow me, you post, you share my Monday, Wednesday, Friday night shows. You're that means a lot to me. So from me to you, I totally appreciate that. And so with that said, Phil, Mike gets to talk for the rest of the night, and you don't. I'm joking. But no, Mike, share with us with Junction Creek. What does this do for the band that now that Greg has to go part-time? Because let's give props credit where credit's due. Greg's voice. I mean, he's incredible. Does him not being in the at a gig change the dynamic, of the set list or the sound? Without and I say this with all respect, not having his voice is going to be a little different, different type of gig for you guys.
Yeah, I think that's fair. No doubt about that. But from my perspective, on the other hand, I think this creates a little different opportunity for us as well too. For example, if anything, it could broaden the type of playlist that you may hear from us moving forward. And actually, what I'm excited about, there will be times when both are there, and I'm kind of really looking forward to what we can do with the both of them, because I think they're both great singers. To your point, Greg, phenomenal, right? But I can't think of a song just yet. But only because we're go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say on my end, being an outsider looking in, I think Greg is phenomenal. I mean, he's just got an extremely smooth voice. It's kind of, it's like
smooth, right? That's a good one.
Well, it's like being hypnotized to a degree. But as far as the rest of the band, I mean, I have been out there more seeing you all without Greg than I have with Greg, and I think all of you all are just as talented. I mean, I'm not trying to take from him, but I love you all. All of you have your own unique sound and songs that you do, and you're entertaining. And anyway, I say this with all the love in the world towards Greg, but I know Junction Creek really as being without Greg for the most part.
Okay.
So, because,
all right.
I mean, on my end, because I mean, I love Greg. I think he's amazing. But the times that I've been at the shows, and anyway, I hope all this is coming out the right way. But I just think Junction Creek is one of the most talented bands in the city. They are one of the smoothest bands, in my opinion, out there. And you all know how many bands out there that I love. But when it comes to being smooth and even their wives are amazing, and the wives treat the other people there. It's just a nice, perfect package,
right.
Because you don't normally get that. You really don't. I mean, because coming from my end, and I say this again as a compliment to Junction Creek and their spouses, I'm a female, I'm single, I'm in the music industry, and of course I may be old and all of the above. However, many women or wives that are married to musicians, they don't normally like me. And why? I think it's ridiculous, okay? I just think it's retarded. I think it's stupid. But a lot of times they won't speak to me. Sometimes they will. But since I've met all the wives, Melody and Mary, and I mean, all of them, they're like family to me. I may not get to see them very often, but over this time we've gotten so close. And
they are good people.
Was a little underneath the weather a few weeks ago, and they reached out to me, and that meant a lot to me. I mean, anyway, I know I kind of made this about a me thing, but I really mean it about Junction Creek, because when you find a band that can have a musician that's not there and still sound great and still draw the same type of crowd, that's a lot to be said for that, in my opinion. So I will be quiet.
That's a good
this
point.
This is Angel going to jump in right here.
Who's
I'm
this?
sitting here with Phil while he's doing this. This is Angel, Phil's wife. I just want to shout out.
What's up, Angel?
Thanks for coming out the other night, Kevin. And Shannon,
absolutely.
We really appreciate you coming out and supporting the band and promoting on Facebook the way both of you have.
Oh, well, I miss you guys. That's going to change real soon, though. It's been a little hectic the last few months. Scheduling has been awful, but you are on my priority list, I promise.
Hey, Shannon, this is Mike. Hey, thank you so much. That means a lot to us as well. And I think you raised a great point. I know we were kind of focused in on Greg and TJ there for a little bit, but I appreciate the rest of the guys in the group as well too. And I think, if there's one thing we do, we take it serious. We're committed. We like to have fun, but we've been working really hard at it. And I guess maybe I'm bragging, boasting here a little bit, but I think that shows kind of
absolutely
in the product that we take to the stage. So I appreciate your feedback there. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Oh, I've got to share this with you, and then y'all can tell me to be quiet. I promise I've talked too much. And see, Kevin, this is probably why you don't have me on the show as often anymore, because I don't shut up. But I'm still going to say it anyway. I got a message.
Shannon, the more you talk, Shannon, the more you talk, the more that I can go refill my glass and take a bathroom break. So, just saying.
Okay. So, listen, you are going to get a kick out of this. At least I thought it was a huge compliment, and I hope I can repeat it the right way. But I got a message the other day asking me if it was true that Junction Creek had actually played at a venue that I'm not going to mention, because they could not believe a band as talented and as big as Junction Creek actually played at this particular venue. And when I confirmed that you all play because you love music and you play for the people and that's just who you are, they were just blown away. So I hope that this came across as a huge compliment, not that you need it because you don't, but they looked at you all, as I do, but they looked at you all as being, I hope I'm saying this right, but they looked at you guys as being so, and I mean, the place that you played at was a local venue, but they looked at you all as being like, I guess that's where I can get to the point across, is like being at the Young Center or at the Mercury Ballroom or somewhere. They were just surprised that you played at a couple of local venues a while back, because they thought that you all were so big that you would never play at a local place of this. I'm going to shut up. Am I making sense?
Well, we've got some dates.
I hope I am, because it was a huge compliment.
We could play 4th Street Live or Mercury Ballroom or something like that. We do have some open dates, even though 2017 is getting pretty booked.
I did that. Well, I can't mention who and where, so I had to try to change the words as best I could. But anyway, I thought, what an awesome compliment. I thought it was anyway. So, because
we appreciate the compliment.
Bragged about you all. So,
yeah, thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I mean, that probably really butchered that, getting that out there. Now, I guess I've only had one glass of wine too, so I can't blame it on the wine. But I tried to get that out the best I could to let you all know how much of a compliment the way he had worded it. But it showed what kind of people you all are too. So anyway,
was it a 44 ounce glass, Shannon?
No, actually, it was only an 8 ounce glass with 2 ounces, and I only had 4 ounces in it. So anyway, I don't drink hardly at all. I really, really don't. I've been behaving. But that one little bit of glass of wine was really good, though. I enjoyed it.
I have to share something with you guys. Junction Creek and your fellow bandmates Smoke, and they're like Shane Dawson, and all the great acts that I've seen at County Line. The truth is, guys, I'm not a country music fan, but to go and listen to you guys in the country vibe here, I dig it. But to listen to the local or to the local country music station, CMA, I could honestly, I couldn't tell you if Jason Aldean or any of these more popular acts walked by me. I couldn't tell you who they were. I couldn't. But
oh wow,
but it's not my thing. It's really never been my thing. But to go and listen to you guys, what I'm trying to say is that I get off on the vibe that you deliver in a gig, that feel. I mean, I feel it when I'm watching a Junction Creek gig or whoever. I feel it. And, You know, Mike, I'm gonna give credit where credit's due, brother. You fucking kill it on the guitar. I'm just saying there. That's it.
You're
And
too kind.
that's
You're too kind. I
well,
appreciate it.
no, it's not kind. It's kind and truth, or there's obviously a fine line there, but you are. I pay attention. I'm engaged in your sound, and so and I say this with all due respect, is that country music, I can't go to a Jason Aldean show or most of country. I probably could go to a Garth Brooks because I just know a lot of his music, but I can't go to because I don't get into all that. But to go see you guys smoke and all this stuff, you guys, you kill it, and but that's why what music does to me. I go see bands that for that experience, not. I mean, granted, I like you guys, and everything's cool. We're hanging out in between sets, doing a shot or whatever. But and the talent is there, and the experience is there. So that's from me to you guys. Junction Creek is a guilty pleasure for me, and I say that with all due respect. So, just saying.
Kevin, we appreciate it, and I'm going to have to concur with you. Mike is one of the best guitar players I've ever played with, and he's a very good asset to the band. And we're kind of lucky just to have him just by chance. So we really enjoy Mike coming on board with us.
Yeah, I remember when Mike came on doing Silver Wings. Oh my gosh, I love listening to you all play. I think you're one of my favorite bands. So I'll just say it. I'll probably get in trouble.
Good
for saying
people,
that,
though. Shannon, good people. Good people.
Oh my gosh,
right?
Absolutely.
Right, and that's the best part. Well, not the best part. That's one of the the intangibles, if you will, that when you go to a Junction Creek show, for me, is that in between sets, those guys are coming up to me saying, "Hey, thanks for coming out. We're shooting the shit for a little bit," and they're just good people. And it goes with their wives, their significant others, and so yeah, Shannon, you touched on the fact that this band, there's family, there's music. I mean, it's that whole feel good. It's almost kind of sick.
Perfect package.
It's kind of like I get a cavity from these guys because it's so sweet. The music is sweet. The experience is sweet. It's like I'm kind of gagging a little bit, Mike and Phil, but I say that.
Take notes, Kevin. Take notes.
Mm-hmm. And Shannon, by the way, Shannon, by the way,
you all come out.
I know, and you do, and you say that, and that as someone, right, as somebody who comes out, you engage with with the people, the audience. You engage, and that to me, that means a lot. That
yeah,
that's
Jeni,
right. And
Jamie is more of our I guess social guy. As soon as we go on break,
right.
Jamie's never meets a stranger. He's always introducing himself, and Jamie's a great guy, great bass player, great singer. So I think right now at this point, and with Junction Creek, we've got 4 or 5 of the best musicians in town. That who knows what next year is going to hold for us.
I'm excited. I think it's a great thing.
Shannon, this band, Junction Creek, Shannon, does not have to take a backseat to any band here in town. They are the real deal.
No, they don't.
And
yes, they are.
So
without a doubt.
And Shannon, I know if going back to where your presence made significant others feel uncomfortable. If you were a little less attractive and less than your personality was a little less than, that might have helped the cause. But that I'm just saying.
Whatever.
All right,
I said
Mike.
I was leery on saying that. I was very humble when I said that. But some people aren't so nice.
Yeah. We're all
That's
good
big
here.
sexy right there.
Now, guys, I'll start with Mike. What does 2017 What's in store for you guys coming up?
We're lining up shows already. It's starting to fill up. I'm hopeful there's more to come. I'm fairly confident there will be. We talked about it a little bit earlier. TJ's on board with us now, so it's certainly going to create some new material. I think capacity maybe is not the right word, but the opportunities for song selections and stuff that we can do, and hopefully some new venues on the way, and we'll keep doing our thing, playing music and having a good time, and supporting people like you, Kev, and Shannon, and hey, real quick, I want to circle back on you, Kevin. So you do a pretty good job of sharing our stuff and promoting as well too. So
absolutely.
And we recognize that and appreciate that, and Shannon, you as well. So thank you both very much.
You're very welcome. Thanks for making me look forward to a good time when I do get out.
Yeah, I think 2017 is going to be a lot of fun. We get some new material in there, and I'm just excited.
Me too, guys.
A lot going on.
Are you all booked anytime soon at the county line?
I think
we are.
Maybe
we've booked all the way through 2017.
Oh my gosh, good for you! Yay!
Yeah, so
What?
I'm gonna give a shout out to Chris. Steve over Spectators, Cliff Stingle at Fern Creek for really, they really support us. Those three clubs, we booked out dates with them for 2017, and I really appreciate those guys supporting us along with you guys sharing and.
Well, if I had my own venue, I promise you, you'd be a house band.
I have to ask. I'm going to throw this out here because, outside of County Line here in town, the only other, per se, country venue that I know of, and you all can correct me if I'm wrong, is, what is it? The 4th Street thing? What is, I don't know what that called again. That PBR? Yeah, what's it called? PBR. John, guys, have you all played there?
No, we've not played there yet.
Really? Now, I guess I'm curious. Why would Junction Creek not hit that venue yet?
Well, I can't speak for Junction Creek. I wouldn't speak for Junction Creek, but I'm sorry.
Well, no, I tell you what, let's ask. That's a question I'm gonna throw out at all three of you, because Shannon, you can give it from your perspective, which is obviously from the promotion side. But I'll start with Mike. What is different about the 4th Street thing? Is it I'll ask you. I mean, why are you all not there?
I've attempted to contact 4th Street to get them to book us in there, and we've played Hard Rock a couple times, but I just can't get anybody return. I can't get anybody to return my calls. I don't know. I can't answer why we're not down there.
It's interesting. Now, Shannon, I don't know if you know this, but I'm gonna throw this out. I'm just being a straight shooter, and I don't know the live portion of our show shuts down 11:30, but we can go for however long we want. Whatever you guys want to get to tonight's show. But I don't know anything about the 4th Street thing. The only thing I know about that venue, but what I do know about 4th Street is that it tends to cater to a younger crowd. Now, is it that their acts they're looking to bring in these 20-some-year-old musicians to come and play for them? Is it something to that, or where they're looking at quantity over quality? And that's not disrespecting anybody who plays there, but I do notice, people that I follow, people that that I've been on this show or whatever that has played at 4th Street, they're younger. They're a younger crowd. They're younger than me, put it that way. And so is it?
Well, Kevin, I'm only 23.
Okay, well okay, all right. Then that blows that logic out the window. Then, all right. So, all right, never mind.
Maybe give or take 15 or so there.
Yeah,
I love you.
A lot of it has to do with being on that. That's funny. A lot of it has to do, Kevin, with being on a national or on a chain type level or corporate level. Here we deal with the individual owners or general manager where we can walk in and speak. PBR is set up on a little bit of a different type of scale. They normally have been hiring recording artists already out of Nashville where they're opening up for somebody else. But it's the way they do things is totally different than anyone else. Now, I have been told that there's possibly going to be a big change on that very soon. I have been working on this one, honestly, for a little bit, and that's kind of my project for the first of the year, which would benefit all of you all, or at least I would hope so anyway. But to really answer your question, as a venue owner, manager, whatever, when you have so many bands and you get so many phone calls, it gets to the point to where you don't want to be rude and hang up, or not return a phone call. But there's so many people out there that are trying to make it in the music industry. You could be, the Rolling Stones trying to get booked, down at 4th Street. And I know that's taken a little bit far right there, but things are starting to get saturated a little bit to a certain point. So now it's kind of you have to go about it in a different way, to be perfectly honest with you. Now what takes place, at least I'm going to speak on my end. I can't speak for anybody else. But I get phone calls from places that say, hey, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to go to Facebook. I don't want any of that. Find me somebody that I can pay this amount of money that will play this kind of music. And because they're trying to run a business, employees that don't show up, ordering food, ordering liquor, whatever the scenario may be. It's not that they don't want to take those calls and speak to the musicians, but a lot of times their job is overwhelming. And I know because I can speak, I've been in those shoes before. So sometimes that's the reason why the calls don't take place. And then a lot of times they stick with what they know. Some people are afraid to step out of that box and bring in a new band because they're scared that if it doesn't do well, then, they're not going to make money. I mean, there's so many different things that go through an owner's or a bar manager's mind when it comes to booking music. And it is what it is. Sometimes it takes somebody else, though, to go in there and say, hey, you need to hire this band because if you don't, somebody else is going to, and they're going to miss out on it.
Right.
And,
is it, Shannon, though, is it because 4th Street does seem to cater to the younger audience? And
they cater to a younger audience, but here's what happens too. Remember now, they've had Alan Jackson, they've had, George Strait, they've had a lot of your old country musicians, Brooks
but
and
that's kind of like at the 4th Street, in the middle there, right, where on Thursday night, where but I'm kind of hitting the the outside of that national, right?
Yeah, but see, here's what happens though. They have these big bands that play, but then they'll have an opening act. And, and I'm not going to say any names, but several of our bands we know and love very well, they have a signed contract out of Nashville right now. So they all kind of tie in together with the same type of agent. So a lot of times that's what's taking place down at 4th Street. So if that makes any sense.
Okay.
That doesn't mean we can't get in there because we can, but that's for next year. So.
Okay. Now... Okay, no, actually, that's enlightening. And I'll when I do my Wednesday night shows, it is 100% dedicated to local music. And by the way, Mike, Phil, Greg, who is at the Bonham Experience thing tonight, wanted me to say hey to you guys. He wished he could be on tonight. He wanted to be part of tonight's gig, but he's doing a father-son thing. He did the father-son thing tonight with that Zeppelin.
That's cool.
Thing.
You gotta respect that, right?
Yeah. So, when I do my Wednesday night shows and I post, I do these shout outs on my Facebook posts, and I give shout outs to venues, people, some non-venues that support or help promote my show, and bands who again help promote it. And I've tried to reach out to PBR to get some kind of a dialogue to help, promote, and they've, I've not gotten a response either, which, it's not, I don't expect, I guess my thing is that if that it seems like them that they're doing things in their own way, and they've got this thing where I think, to your point, Shannon, it kind of ties into that, especially with the country thing. It's kind of like, you've got a Nashville connection, or you've got, you're tied to a label, then those people are getting first dibs. That's kind of how I'm seeing it as well. So,
it's kind of like Baxter's. Baxter's used to never have country music down there, and now look what they're doing. I mean, you've got.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But I think it's a great thing, though. So, I mean, it's starting to expand more. So, have you all played there yet, Bill?
Yeah, we played there. It's been probably a year ago since we played there.
Okay.
Once again, I've reached out to them again to book some other dates, but I've not heard anything back from them.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
Well,
I
will tell you this. I do probably.
Go ahead.
I believe it was Nick that I had talked to, but I really, the last time I reached out, I can't remember who I spoke with.
Okay. And I'll tell you somewhere else too. It's small, but I really enjoy this place, and that's Legacy out in Taylorsville.
And we're booked there February the 11th.
Great. You all played there before. How'd you like it? Did you enjoy? I mean, it's small, but I think it's a great crowd and good people. Yeah,
we take our little acoustic show that we do, like when we do in half times. There's another place that's really supported us. They've booked up.
Yes.
And they're great people to work with. Yeah, they're awesome. We take our little acoustic show that we do to Legacy, so we don't blow the windows out when we get there.
Right. Judge Angus plays there. Smoke plays there. Or has played there. And I tell you what, the ribeye steaks are amazing. So they are. The ribeyes are great. I'm picky on when it comes down to my steak, and their steaks are very good. But anyway, there's a little plug for them.
I've heard a lot of good things about halftimes. I've not been there yet, so I hear Monday nights are like great to go. Wings are cheap, and you got NFL, and anyways, all right. Halftimes is your little plug for them. Yeah. So, do you know who the owner is there?
January 14th.
Yeah. Do you all know who owns that? Do you all know?
I do. Kevin, I'll send you that info.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. I don't know, what else are we talking about tonight? We got new band member. We talked about Mike being the greatest guitar in the city. I'm gonna play cowbell. They're gonna have to learn. They're gonna have to learn a song just for me. Shannon's gonna be vocals on that same song. I'm gonna throw this out here, Shannon, and and Mike and Phil are witness to this. When is it time for the Kevin and Shannon show?
Oh my God, you put me on the spot again, didn't you?
Well, I'm not talking per se a radio show. I'm talking about real life show.
In what way?
Honey.
Oh my God, I swear, Kevin.
What?
You really are shooting from the lip right now, aren't you?
I do shoot from the lip. See, I'm all about good radio. I'm all about a soundbite. Give me a TMZ moment. Anyways. She's breathing heavy.
Guys, it was great to see you.
Great.
Actually, I'm going to see Cody Jinks next week. I'm really excited about that one.
Oh.
I just thought I'd throw that out there. Oh no, I changed the subject.
I have to ask, and I'm gonna ask. I'll start with Mike. Do you all have any original music?
We don't. Well, at least not in my time. I think, Phil, maybe y'all had some previously or something, but I know we talked about it.
Yeah, we had one song that we did for. We played a country music showdown, kind of like a battle of the bands in Bardstown. It's been 3 or 4 years ago, and we had an original song then, but it kind of just faded to the side.
I do have a question for you, since I haven't seen you guys recently. Are you all doing the Blue Ain't Your Color by Keith Urban? Anybody doing that one
We are.
yet?
We are.
Yay!
We are. Janie's doing that one.
Oh,
The great
to get out and see you all.
The Grapevine.
Y'all did that
one.
Yeah, you all sung that Saturday night, right? Didn't you all do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
Well, I can't wait
Good
to
stuff.
see you guys. So, well, I need to get off here, guys. I hate to be rude, but my battery has 2% on it, and I don't want to be able to not say goodbye.
We're wrapping up. We are wrapping up. I'll turn it to Mike and Phil. Again, share with us. Phil, or one of you share your upcoming gigs, and the other share your on social media. How about that?
Okay, well, our show dates that we got coming up this Friday night, we're at the American Legion in Seymour. Next Thursday night, we're going to be with Cliff over at Fern Creek Sports Bar, and then the New Year's show we're doing at in Litchfield there at the American Legion. And 2017, we've got half times. We're back in New Directions. Back at Fern Creek, Spectators, County Line. I think the next time we're booked at County Line is April 15th.
Oh, okay.
So we've got several dates booked already for 2017, and always looking for more.
Gotcha.
I need to get with you guys about Derby week or Derby Day. I don't know if you're playing anywhere or not, but I probably need to talk to you all about that one. So
yep,
you do that too.
I'll send you a message on the backside. How about that?
Sounds good.
All right. Mike.
Awesome.
Mike, share with us your on social media.
Like us on Facebook, JunctionCreekBand.com. What else? What am I missing, Phil? Hey, so real quick, I got to give Phil a lot of credit, man. He busts his backside promoting us, and he takes all these bookings, and he's always looking for more. So kudos to you, brother. And not only that, you're just a rock star drummer. I'm not saying that because you're on the other line, but he's actually one of the best I've ever played with. He's solid. He just makes it easy to play with. But back to the social media thing. JunctionCreekBand.com, like our Facebook page. What else?
You're on Facebook.
Phil's personal phone number. Yeah.
Phil, you're on Twitter. And Instagram.
Yeah, I think we're on Twitter. We're Twitter, Instagram, Reverb Nation.
Bands in town.
I got to give most of the kudos to that to Jamie's Walk Melody. She has really stepped up to the plate and taken over all of our social media. So that's just one burden off my back. So that's really, really appreciated.
Yeah, she does a phenomenal job at that. She really does. So.
For sure.
All right, brothers, Phil and Mike, Junction Creek, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Good stuff as usual. We'll check you guys out soon.
Hey, thanks for having us on, Kev. Thanks, Shannon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks,
bye, guys. See you soon.
All right, much love,
Thank
guys.
y'all.
All right.
I meant to do this earlier and I didn't. I wanted to throw a plug out there from Mark Monroe. He comes around and he supports all these bands locally, but Mark used to be a really big, well-known name around town, and then he moved to Nashville and became very successful there, and he moved back to town not very long ago. But anyway, people need to get more familiar with his name also, because he is an extremely talented musician. And I don't know if you have him on the show yet or not. Mark Monroe. You need to Mark Monroe.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, he is a phenomenal musician, and you need to go see him. He's been playing. He's played Gypsies. He's played County Line a couple of times. Fern Creek Bar and Grill. He's somebody you need to get on the show. So anyway, I think you'll be pleased.
Much thanks for you coming on tonight and hanging with me.
It's been a long time.
Good stuff.
It was fun.
So for Shannon Moert, Talk Smack Promotions, Kevin Hale, wishing everyone a great night and a pleasant Thursday. Peace out, Louisville.
At no time were any animals or people hurt during this presentation of Shooting from the Lip.
kiss sign, I'm gonna turn your high. Questions on your bones, you know you're fixing to die.
I won't be jailed, baby, gonna killed. I am the daddy and away I go.
Well, that mangy pack of dogs that call themselves the law. They can lie.